Hola, boa noite. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. Good evening to you. Where are those lovely wine ninjas? Let's bring them onto the screen now. From Alvázar, central Portugal. Here they are, Gary and Linda. How
Good
are you?
evening.
Hello,
I'm
fine,
good,
thank you.
Excellent. Billabong Doug in Wales, looking like a proper BBC announcer this evening. Good evening to you, Bairrada.
G'day, sport.
Oh,
in South Wales, mate.
you kind of threw me there. New South Wales, of course, yes. In Devon in the UK, Penny Albertella.
Hiya.
Live from the boudoir. And also from Central Portugal tonight, we have Frank and Rachel. Good evening to you folks. How are you?
Not bad. Just a little bit of tan.
Yes, just rubbing in the fact that you're fresh back from the Algarve. I mean, let's find out. How was it?
It was very nice. The Algarve sun suited me quite well, I gotta say.
Yes. Let's zoom in for a moment and let's see his sun-kissed appearance. You do look well on it, Frank, I have to say. And you as well, Rachel. Did you have a lovely time down there?
This is how much I tan usually.
Hers is the lobster tan. Mine is the one you want.
You have a beautiful glow about you, Rachel, is how I would put it.
I tan more from wine than from sun.
Oh, okay. Yes. So let's see that in action tonight. Eric J's here. Good evening. Hello again, Eric J. We've got some feeding back. I'm going to find out who that is. I'm going to track you down and mute your mic. Let's see if it's Alvázar. Could be. I don't think it's you, Doug. I think it's Gary and Linda. I think I've eliminated the feedback already. So just wave vigorously, you two, when you need to speak and address your public. Hola, boa noite, everyone. Great job moderating the earlier webinar. Oh, thank you, Eric J. And I do feel like, having talked about the cost of living and how fabulous Portuguese wines are, really looking forward to a glass of this one tonight. Where is my winey? That's the same person who's saying boa noite and hola. What's happening there? Have you got are your vowels sticking tonight? Congested vowels. There's probably something that Doc can suggest for that. Who's here as well tonight? Benoit Wine Lovers from Neil Perkins, from the comfort of his living room this evening or kitchen table. Good evening to you, Neil and Rita. How are you, Doc?
Good, thanks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Have you had a haircut?
I have. I had my ears lowered.
Oh, my word, you look smart.
Doc's looking all sexy, man.
Yeah.
I treated myself to a wet towel shave as well.
Oh, nice Turkish job.
That sounds like horrible that goes in public schools. But that sounds good. What, hot towels? The whole thing. Can people be shaved in public again?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Hey, look who it isn't! It's Tiago Zeferino, everybody. Oh, how wonderful, Tiago. What are you drinking tonight? You're very welcome to join us on the screen, sir. As are you, Neil. Although, it's up to you. If you prefer the comfort of your dining table and to watch and point, you're very welcome to do that as well. But you're always welcome, Neil. Okay, tonight, I thought this was going to be really easy for everybody to find. And it looks like perhaps only the Austin household have it. Do you have it, Frank and Rachel?
No.
Doc, what do you have there?
We have a gift from Luis Pato when we went to the vineyard. We got given a bottle of this Rebel wine, as well as all the wine that we bought and drank while we were there.
Hold it up again. Doc and Leon are still name dropping Luis Pato. Here we go. There we go. That's very nice. The Rebel wine. He's the man. Look at that label. What a fantastic label. Sticking his tongue out. The enologist, I think. He had he was our guest last week, of course, and he had such a brilliant attitude towards the kind of wine snobbery, I think, didn't he? He was from a different cloth.
I'm trying to work out what the grape is.
Man. Go on, say that again, Doc.
Sorry, I'm trying to work out what the grape is, but I can't.
Something different and rebellious, and something. I was thinking at one point, oh my goodness, what if he's got 24 grandchildren? We're going to be here quite a long time. But fortunately, only 6. Marcus Robon is here. Bon note to you as well, Marcus Igualment, and Olaf from Lausanne, and Anna's here from Switzerland. I have the right producer at least. Oh, excellent. Okay, so you're with this Messias family wine. So I'm going to roll VT now and give you an introduction to the company for those of you who could be bothered to get the actual wine.
Oh, yes.
No, only kidding.
That's fighting talk, that is.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Here we go. Can you hear birdsong?
Yeah.
Certainly can.
Really know the terroir. Transform grapes into fine wines and share them at tables around the world. Grow from your roots. We reflect excellence and innovation in Portuguese wines. Cultivating perfection since 1926. From still to naturally sparkling wine, from spirits to port wine. Created and inspired by nature to give life more flavor and more wonder. Tradition, experience, and history. Wines that dwell in our memory. Messias. We want our story to be part of your life.
Jesus.
Hold on a minute. There's a wind blowing through the vineyard as well. Doug, did you record that voice over there?
I certainly did.
Sounds like one of your...
It sounded like me, didn't it?
It
Most beautiful wine from Portugal.
suitably rich and fruity.
Rich, fruity and wonderful. That's it.
Incredible. So more about this producer. Just scrolling through their website. Lovely pictures in the website, as you see there, from the 1920s. But look at this bottling facility here. Those are you seeing it on screen? You're not yet, are you? This one here, let me an origin, a legacy. I think the marketing department and copywriters have really gone to town, haven't they, with the website and everything here. But look, can you see on this old black and white picture here, the ladies bottling up the wine, and they're doing it into what look like cheese graters on the left there, which I'm sure they're not there. That's an early box wine, presumably. And then those fantastic Portuguese bottles with the plastic straw work on them that you find in the cellar of the house you buy in Portugal, right? Right there. So 1891 goes back to Messias Ferreira Baptista is the main man, and there is often these fantastic figures right behind the wines, and it is Baptista here, or Messias is his first name. So there's your man, your original man, and let me zoom in on my actual one that I've chosen tonight. And the reason I did, like, representing Bairrada. And I'm thinking, okay, that's going to be great. I'm doing my civic duty and promoting a Bairrada wine here. And I'm thinking, oh, with a twist, because the guy in my wine shop, my friend in the wine shop there, hello, Ree, by the way, calling us lushes, rude. And I'm thinking Cabernet Sauvignon. That's going to be great for my buddies who might not be able to get hold of, other Bairrada wines. This is a big producer, as we've seen there, a big budget producer. Surely everybody can get this all over Portugal. So it might be another Bairrada thing that, I don't know, it's either in the Bairrada or exported elsewhere in the world and nowhere else. Because we've struggled tonight, haven't we? Rachel and Frank, I think, Rachel, you're going to say you scoured Coimbra. Nothing there, only 20 kilometers away down the road.
It's at Bingo Dolce. It was Rachel brought to my attention. She goes, "I don't even see a single Bairrada here." Yeah. We went back to the continent, and then we saw like a few down there. It's very much. It brings me back to your point when you raised the thing where you said that it's very regionalist here. So it's there's this region where there are a lot of Douro wines over here. But for some reason, Bairrada, not so much.
And we ended up buying one that is from Bairrada, and it has Cabernet Sauvignon Bag and Touriga Nacional. So
Excellent. Okay, so we do have some.
And this one is from your town.
Okay, show me. Let's have a look. Oh, Vinha de Coria. Fabulous. Oh, that's really wonderful. A special harvest there. Fantastic. Doc, you wanted to chip in as well. You were unable to get the exact one, but you've got something. Oh, you've got your
I
pato.
know we've got the gift from Lewis. What I was going to say was that we've got quite a large Garrafera in Leiria with hundreds and hundreds of bottles of wine and really nice wines and old ports and all sorts. And the woman had never heard of it, she'd heard of Messias, but she didn't know the label, that particular label. And in addition, she had no Bairradas, and she didn't have any of the local wines from around Leiria either. It was full of Dow and Douro and Alentejo and Lisbon and Setúbal, but nothing from Bairrada or the Costas there, which is our local sub-region.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Go on, Frank.
Programming notes. Doc is on first name basis with Luis Pato.
It sounds like it, doesn't it? Louis. This is just in there, didn't he? But I like how you pronounce Messias, which is good. So, Pete, no. Messias is really not the name of this wine, and you're right, that wouldn't be a great name for a drink producer. Messias, I think, which it kind of sounds similar, but thank you for Doc for the pronunciation there. It's the famous Douro Valley that was featured in the video there. I mean, I think they make or blend or create wines with their tentacles all over the country. That's how a lot of these bigger companies operate. Isn't it? They'll have they'll be trans-regional in their approach, and that's what's happening with this company tonight. And I brought it home to the exclusion of my friends, sadly, tonight. I think the way it's going to go this evening is that we will just be talking of and introducing the wine that we have in front of us. Love the one you're with, I suppose you could say. What have you got, Billabong Doug?
Well, it's an Australian Cabernet Sauvignon that I bought. I thought I'd need to go with a Cab Sauv of some description, so I just had a look for something that looked quite nice. This is what I came up with.
Fantastic. Can you hold it up to the camera for us?
Sure can. Let me just have a look for you. See if we can get a look at that. How was that?
Fine looking bottle.
Yeah.
From last night. From last year, not last night. That would be very fresh.
Well, last night's one would be a bit young, but there we go.
Yes, indeed. That's more of a farm thing in Portugal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I do look forward to doing that with you all one day as well. Wine bottled last night on a farm in Portugal somewhere. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
João Mendonça, forgive me, Mendonça or Mendonça. Hello, Carl and everyone. You're all getting to be wine connoisseurs. So João possibly saw us. This is wine number 40 for us. He might have seen us with wine number 1, 2, 3, under 10, saying, "Oh, it's quite nice. That quite like it." That was all we used to say. And now we're talking about grapes and everything. And Doc's just casually chucking in there. Yes, when I went to see Luis, of course.
And why not, Doc? Why not?
Absolutely. Mary Jo Deakin is here. Hello, my first time here. You're more than welcome, Mary. Thank you for your
Hello, Mary.
And we've not heard much from the folks tonight who are tuned in. Pete, what are you drinking? What's your favourite now you've been in Portugal all this time? Marcos, what are you drinking? João, what are you drinking? Mary, tell us the same. Ian's here as well. Boa noite a todos. Drinking Galadora Reserva from the Agricola Quinta de Conde, 2 drinkable. So already halfway through it by the sound of it. Thank you, Ian, for that. Ree, what are you drinking? Good evening to you, and we know what Anna's got hold of there. So Messias do obviously export to Switzerland. I'm very keen to find out what you think of it. 2013, pretty good. Mine's a 2015, and the cork on it was really felt like, yeah, that is a wine that's aging nicely in the bottle. Very soaked cork, and a nice nose on it when I opened it up. I've taken the Austin tip of decanting. Look at that. And I'm going to pour a bit now. So I think we should all do this tonight. Penny, what have you got to savour this evening?
I gave up because obviously I couldn't get the one that you were doing, and I thought about getting another Cabernet Sauvignon, but I thought, well, I'll try and get one that's closer. So there was a Spanish one available, but it had a mixture of Cabernet Sauvignon and a Spanish grape. And I was saying earlier, I think I decided that it wouldn't go down very well, a Spanish wine on a Portuguese wine show. So I come back to this one. This is the baby.
Although you'd be geographically quite a lot closer than me.
Indeed. Yeah, you could have been at least on the
right,
same.
yes.
Yeah. So the Bairrada, which we love, I have to say, really love that, and that's going to be welcome at any gathering, I suspect. And you're mixing that with a Prosecco tonight.
I'm mixing it with a Prosecco, and I've also got some freshly squeezed lemon to give that a go because I didn't try that last time. So I've got a jug of lemon as well.
Very
So I can try some on ice with lemon and some with fizz.
Of an evening after dinner, I've got 2 or 3 ice cubes in a soda glass, and then I squeeze half a lemon onto the ice cubes, and then put a good slug of Bairrada. What a beautiful drink that is! It feels like
ready.
Oh, extra! It feels extra medicinal. What a lovely ice bucket you've got there.
Isn't that nice? Very nice.
Phenomenal garden, but
what
I
the
should have
boys
brought my pineapple ice bucket tonight.
You should have really. Next time, if you could have that would be great. Mary is not drinking tonight. I was not expecting this. Ambush. Wine club ambush. Unfortunately, it's a box for Ian. Oh, dear. When the wine is good and it's a box as well, that's we've all been there, haven't we? White wine from Palmilla on the north of the Bairrada Peninsula. I have a great appetizer. A recommendation there by the sound of it. Bairrada, another one for our list. Got to go there. Linda, lovely sweater tonight. Let us zoom in. Lol, it's only 4:15 here. Not quite dinner time, so no drinking yet. I need to sweater this evening. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think with this one, given that it is the wine of the evening, and it is wine number 40, the Austins and I can give it a taste, and then we'll go around to everybody else. So, Gary, what you got?
Right, I'm just going to just a second. Where I got it from, right, and this is going to be useful for anybody. Is my sound all right now, by the way? Because I've adjusted it. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. Yeah.
Good. Where I got this wine from, they do a lot of Bairrada wines and stuff. So if I tell you this place, then you maybe if you do another Bairrada, you can look on this place because they do online stuff. So I'm going to give them a plug tonight because they're so lovely. This is the company.
Ah, very good.
So if you look that up online, they've got a lovely selection of wines of all different what we call them, varieties,
denominations,
and a lot of them from Bairrada. So if you guys can't find it, give them a look. So you might find it in there.
It sounds like you've had a lovely time in that shop, and that's the beauty, isn't it, of going to a proper wine shop, garrafaria, rather than a supermarket? Because we've all had these. I mean, Frank has some great stories of where he's been hassling the operatives in Continent, for example, nearly getting thrown out for being a little too insistent, perhaps. And you just don't get the service in a supermarket, do you? Whereas in the garrafaria, they want to talk to you, and it sounds like you've had a lovely time there, Gary.
He was a lovely guy, most helpful, lovely selection of wine, lovely clean shop, really enjoyable experience, like you say. Okay, it might cost a little bit more, but hey, at least it supports the local economy a bit, doesn't it?
Perfect, yeah. And surprisingly, the difference isn't as much as I recall in the UK. When you go to a wine shop in the UK, there's a massive premium because I think they're used to dealing with toffs, don't they? Who just buy a box every week and have it delivered or something. Doesn't matter what the cost is. It is a bit more expensive because they haven't got the sort of buying power in the smaller shops here, but it's not that much more. And they also sometimes get a good deal on a local producer as well. So don't be put off, anybody, by that. And as Gary says, you know, you're supporting local industry, which is really important at the moment. So sorry, everybody else, for the moment. Can we by that I mean me, Gary, and Linda have a little taste of this Bairrada with the Cab Sauv going on here. So what's on the nose for you there first, Austins?
Well, that's increased substantially from when it came out of the bottle. A bit more wood in that now. Obviously the dry fruits. And a bit of vanilla. What you? Anything smell wise?
I can't tell.
No. What have you got on your?
Overwhelming cherry. 2019 here. Sorry, 2015. I beg your pardon. And that's what I couldn't get over was the cherry. fragrance that I was picking up. And first sip, really easy on the palate, and not as what do we say about Bairrada? I mean, somebody made a really nice post in our food and wine club earlier on today. If you're looking for light Portuguese reds, try this, and that's what we've been dealing with, isn't it? For the entire history of our club, really, is the strong Portuguese reds. And I think someone's come to your request there, Linda, and your inquiry about softer, lighter reds in Portugal. And I think this is in that category. It does, the Cabernet Sauvignon lightens things up a bit, and it's not quite as harsh as some of the others we've had.
Now, to me, right, I'm used to a big, strong, sexy Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah.
This has certain qualities of that in it, but something else, and I can't quite figure out what it is. It tastes quite alcoholic when you're drinking it. Do you not think?
It's hanging on the glass, absolutely.
Yeah. But
it's not harsh in any way, and that to me is a really nice. That's going to be a dining wine. A nice pairing to really bring out the difference. And as I've always said, like what I'm thinking about the experience I want to share with somebody coming to Portugal, and I'm thinking that would work really well with cheese, without a doubt. It would go well with a Portuguese cheese board, but it would go really nicely with lamb as well. I'm thinking, it has sophistication. I'm really pleased because I have that, as I've said before, that slight aversion to big producers. I go with the big producers because I think everyone can get the wine because they're a big producer, which didn't happen tonight. But then I'm thinking also with the big producer, you might lose a little bit in their mass production. But this hasn't lost anything in that. I really like this a lot.
It is quite a very smooth wine. There's no doubt about that. It's got a long flavour on it as well. It's quite persistent at the end. Yeah. But Cabernet, I don't know. Is a Cabernet? Is it what I would call a Cabernet? It's kind of like one, but there's something else in there, and I can't figure out what the hell it is.
That taste at the end, I can't put my finger on that last taste.
Yeah, their explanation. The Cabernet Sauvignon has always been. You're right.
It's gone down the wrong way, has it?
He likes it really. I don't think that's a reflection on the wine. The Cabernet Sauvignon, I'm worried about him now. Is he all right, Linda? Okay. The Cabernet Sauvignon has always been historically well adapted to Atlantic climates and regions. Those evidences drove us to plant it on Bairrada's clay soils, where it has joined our best entire blends. Lost a bit in translation and everything. This wine reveals all that potential to enhance its characteristics. This wine was naturally stabilized. I wonder what that means. It can present sediments. Serve with care. Oh my goodness! Right. I wonder if I did.
Oh, it needs to live in that decanter then.
Yeah, it's gonna mess my decanter up, isn't it? But I'll come back to the technical spec sheet on this to give you a bit more background for those watching later and seeing this and wanting to know more about it. But let's go around the room now and find out what the Cabernet Sauvignon from Australia is like.
Well, the promotion on the bottle that says that it's supposed to taste of vanilla, cherries, chocolate, a little bit of smokiness, and there certainly is that in here. And there's also a very strong hint of blackcurrant, cassis. So it's not a bad drop, and I probably suspect this is a big producer as well. So given that, if they're a big producer, they produce a lot of wine, then they got to sell it. So at the end of the day, it's got to be good. So this one isn't bad. I would certainly recommend it. I'd certainly recommend it even more had it come from Portugal.
Yes. Thanks. So thanks for getting into the Cabernet Sauvignon spirit there. Penny, how is the Bairrada and no Secco going down tonight? And have you mixed in some lemon yet?
I've done the lemon first. It tastes complete because I didn't have the lemon last time. It tastes complete. I'd said it neat and with the bubbly. It tastes completely different with the lemon in. So I'm getting a sort of sweet aniseedy taste, and the sharpness of the lemon, it's actually really quite nice. Because as I don't like sweet drinks, that's actually quite nice.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. Bairrada, after that introduction from Gary and Linda, that has a place in the house now for me. It's something that should be. You might want to add to this list, but there are certain things that are staples in the household, right? Sometimes a bit weird and a bit to do with your own family. Like my stepdad used to always have a and don't hear this the wrong way, but he always used to have a tub of gentleman's relish in the fridge. By that I mean Patum Paparium, the little fishy spread.
That came in something that looked like a shoe polish.
Exactly.
I remember those.
Right.
Wasn't it anchovy relish made of anchovies? Yeah.
And that's another thing people have, isn't it? It's certainly cooks like to keep some anchovies in their fridge, which might have been in there for 2 or 3 years, but it gets chucked into a beef stew for a bit of umami flavor there. Yeah. Tell us what other things are lurking in your fridge.
My anchovies never last long. If we haven't used them for cooking, they get broken out on toast late at night. Oh,
yeah. Classic quote. My anchovies never last long. Fantastic. Frank,
you want saltiness in the anchovy? Lovely.
Yes, Frank. What as a chef? I mean, there's going to be a few staples hanging about in your fridge, right?
There's always anchovies, but they're so salty. You have to be like proper hammer to do that with some kind of relish and some kind of toast. I usually do like on a Sunday if we're doing some pasta, I'll just do that with like some dried peppers and garlic and do just do regular pasta. Anchovies are there for the day when you don't really want to cook, but you want something fresh.
Fantastic. So any other things that you have to have in your kind of desert island hamper? We'd love to hear about those. And for me, Bairrada is there now as one of the staples of the household. So thank you for that introduction, Gary. I think it's a fantastic thing. Marcus reckons that it's more for special days, for example, Christmas and Easter. Get away with you, Marcus. For me, I mean, I suppose what I'm doing is making every day special in that case, with a little digestive after the meal there. João Mendonça, I'm actually having a glass of Chateauneuf de Pape. Oh, check it out. Special 2019 French, yes, because in UK you have no more French wine than any other. How is it, João? Let us know. Silvana Bonoit, hello, Silvana, lovely to have your company. And Lauren, I think, responding to the lemon and Bairrada mix, and I'm sure you can get Bairrada in North Carolina, I'm guessing as well. I think that they, when we found out about the company, they are exporting all over the world. Unfortunately, Carl, in UK, I think you can only find just under 10 Portuguese wines. Nothing compared with what you lot are getting there. That's true. I hope it's a few more than that. Would you agree, Penny?
Definitely more than that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots more.
I get what he's saying, though.
My local wine store stocks mainly Spanish, but he does quite a few Portuguese as well. And then Majestic do a whole range. Lidl do a whole range every so often. Plus,
I was near a Majestic today and I forgot to go and have a look.
Plus there's Portugalia online in London as well, and they do food and wine. So there's a lot available if you go digging a little.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe João lives in Shropshire or Suffolk, where he's not getting access to these sort of cosmopolitan shops that might sell Portuguese wine. Better luck, João, in the future. Anna, the Reserva 2013 is still very tannic and hasn't lost the fruit. Would be great with food. Yeah. Grapes, Sabaga, Touriga Nacional, and Cabernet Sauvignon. The Portuguese shop here was almost sold out of this, but had a lot of their Syrah. So maybe, this is a bit more popular among the Swiss wine connoisseurs. Thank you for that, Anna. And I see Steve Welton is here tonight. Hi, Steve. Hello, Confidencial Reserva Tinto 2015. Excellent. You found something Portuguese this evening. Okay, so Rachel and Frank, what you got? How is it?
So we have exactly the same grapes as Anna's wine, but ours is not very tannic. It's a 2017. And it's really nice and very fruity. On the nose, it's cherries, and I don't think actually it goes in a wood casket. Doesn't. It's very nice. I like it.
Yeah, you'd be a bit disappointed, Carl. It doesn't have any leather, but it's got like a fruitiness. It's got like a little bit of berries, cherry. I kind of taste a little bit of dark chocolate. So it's got a bit of everything, and it's quite smooth. I'm actually very impressed with this one. It's a very. Remember last week? Was it last week with when we did ours? It was when we did with ours. There, Doc, your friend Luis, when he showed up, we did the Baga and Touriga Nacional. This one is you add Cabernet to the mix, and I'm sorry, I got to tell your friend Louis, this one is a bit smoother.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. I think we've opened the doors here to the spring and the summer of enjoying Portuguese reds that are a little bit softer and less wintry. Right. This is good timing. This is good timing. The addition of the Cabernet Sauvignon is really helping here. I think it's opening up a new door to the wine experience, but a timely seasonal one as well. Doc, your friend Luis's wine tonight, how is it?
Well, I'm going to tell you that this is very much in line with what you were just talking about in terms of not so wintry, not so heavy red wines. But I'll tell you what the grapes are first, and that will surprise you. And it's Barga, Touriga Nacional, and 1% Pical. But he has a very shortened maceration time and very strict control. So we now have a wine that's only 12.1% and very light, actually. Nice bouquet of blackberries and a bit of chocolate, and very pleasant. Very nice. And he says that you can drink it even just 1 year after bottling.
And 1% of what was in there? Why would you put 1%? That's a very subtle addition, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll have to ask him next time we see him.
Next time you chat. Yeah, of course. So I'm surprised with mine here tonight. The Wine 40 of the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. It's the Quinta do Valdoeiro Cabernet Sauvignon. It is only Cabernet Sauvignon in the mix there. It's not blended. It's the only variety in there. Isn't that amazing? 12.9 alcohol volume. Bairrada, as we know, their description: cherry ripe color, aromas like fruits, blackberries, blackcurrant, and plum, but also hints of chili powder, as well as cedar and roasted coffee. Well, that's very sophisticated, isn't it? The palate is velvety and intense. I'd go along with that, with powerful but integrated tannins, muscled and tasting to red fruits and spices, resulting in a very elegant and interesting complexity. Very long aftertaste. Spot on there, Mr. Austin. Picking up the long aftertaste there. So fascinating tonight to be in Cabernet Sauvignon territory. That's a nice close-up from Rachel and Frank, isn't it? A few more comments here. Joao is not in Shropshire or Suffolk, actually in Crystal Palace. Okay, so, maybe Penny knows where I can purchase Portuguese wines. Yes, I think Joao, Penny, Portuguese wine buying mentor. Victoria's here, everybody. Boa tarde a todos. From Victoria over there in Atlanta. And Ree says, everybody toast Carl's audiobook. Well, thank you, Ree, for mentioning that. If I may say so, a proud moment today. I've been involved in a narration project, reading a Russian memoir by Konstantin Voskresinski, whose name I know how now to pronounce after working closely with him. So here's to you, Konstantin, on the publication of the audiobook, the English translation of your wonderful work, and for letting me narrate it, which is the first big project of its kind like that I've done. It was an absolute pleasure working with Russian friends now, collaborators. Isn't that a funny thing to say, Russian collaborators? That has a real
collaborators.
Yeah, that's got a Cold War ring to it, isn't it?
You get shot for that a few years ago.
You can see the CIA tapes starting up, can't you? In the list. But what an amazing project! I didn't leave home; they didn't leave home. Recorded it here in Portugal, sent them the audio files, and now it's been produced and published. So it's such a lovely thing to have worked on. So thank you, Constantine, Peter, Leah, everybody on that team. It was fantastic. So yeah, raising a glass and a toast to that. Fabulous.
Nice one, Carl.
Well done, Carl.
So thank you very much. Really appreciate that, and really enjoyed the whole process. And you and me, Doug, probably could. We need to register ourselves, don't we, with voiceover agencies now. We could work as a smashy and nice act.
With I'm just so proud of my the fact that I can do an actor.
Cellar. It's Doug going down to the cellar.
Yeah, well, that's quite handy, wouldn't it? So I'm down in the cellar today having a look for my wine choice for this evening. It's an enormous cellar, as you can probably hear, and I've just found an Australian Cabernet Sauvignon.
Very good, very good. Okay, yes, let's get ourselves registered and do all sorts of interesting voiceover work. Chateauneuf, slightly spicy. The Chateauneuf. Also, red fruits, strong and intense, like French politics. Fantastic. Okay, should we do a bit of scoring then? Because actually, we may have our friend, another name drop here tonight, Tony. Antonio Barbarossa is around here somewhere. I think he's tuned in and listening, but can't comment for some reason. So what I'm going to do...
Townster!
He's in the cellar. What's that?
I was calling out to Townster.
Oh, the Townster. Okay, so I've sent him the invite now. Antonio, if you are still tuned in and you want to come jump on and say hi, you're more than welcome to come and light up our lives here in your inimitable way. So feel free to click on that link that I've just sent you and join us on the screen as we do a bit of scoring. So yes, with wine number 40, Quinta do Valdoeiro, Cabernet Sauvignon 2015. What would you say, Linda? How many glasses?
This is my second glass. I think I'm going to give it a 4. There's the long aftertaste. It's got something, I couldn't quite put my finger on it, the long aftertaste, but when you read out the tasting notes, you said cedar, and that's what I can taste. And that I'm not so keen on, that flavour. The wine, the fruitiness is nice, but I'm not quite keen on the end finish.
The woody end. Okay.
The woody end, yeah.
Not a happy ending.
Not a happy ending.
Not a happy ending.
Gary, as someone who's dabbled in a bit of the aromatherapy, that was what you were looking for, I think. Cedar, yeah?
That was the strange aftertaste that we couldn't quite put our foot on.
Yeah.
Foot? Finger? Yeah, that as well.
You showed it. You showed it.
Stuff this wine, isn't it?
Yes.
This one, right? Because I love Cabernet Sauvignon. It's one of my favourite wines. This one for me is very heavy on the cherry, and that's what I've been struggling with.
Okay.
It does have a nice long flavour to it, but I'm just probably not used to cherry Cabernet Sauvignon, so I'm going to have to just drop a little and go 3.8, I think.
3.8. My goodness. Okay, I'm going to go for 4.25. And thank you, Gary and Linda, by the way. 4.25 for me. It sits in the mental database. You know, got guests coming from elsewhere, and surprising them. So obviously, I'm gonna hit them with the fizz, the espumante in Bairrada. I'm gonna hit them with some strong Barga reds here, and then maybe on day 2 or 3 of their stay, let's have a little bit of light relief, because they also grow Cabernet Sauvignon. As an experience here, I think it's a good one to know about, and it is I'm keen to try some of their other stuff at Messias as well. You know, they've got their ports as well, so I'm glad we've made the acquaintance of Messias, and I think we'll be returning there as well.
It's nice with food.
It is nice. It's
nice
better. It's definitely an eating.
Nice with cheese.
Yeah.
So
we've got some vanilla cheese, which is going really nice with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Vanilla cheese. I'm gonna have a bit of cheese with this afterwards. So, Antonio Barbosa, good evening to you, sir.
Tony, good evening.
Hi, everyone.
Hola, boa noite. How are you? Tudo bem? What are you drinking tonight, Antonio?
Well, I forgot the name actually, but you know what? Give me a second. I'll tell you right away.
I think he looks like he had one or two already. Don't
Started
you?
on one thing and then just went. I'm with a friend of mine, and
In the dark.
we actually started the name Crescendo. Okay,
Haciendo. Okay.
Crescendo, and it's
There he is.
Yeah.
He's muted himself now. Oh, the crescendo's going down well. Look at those dimples.
You
Yeah.
fix the image and now the sound is not going.
Yeah. Look at this. They've not gone unnoticed from Ree. Hi, Tony. Loves dimples. Can we hear you now, Tony, or not?
what's that? What's that,
Oh,
Carl?
you're back. No,
Good.
we thought we'd lost your sound there. You were singing the praises of the 100 Acres Douro as well earlier on today. Have you been drinking that today too?
That was yesterday in Coimbra. You know, I was near you guys. And we had that, the Toriga Nacional, which is great, fantastic, really exceptional. The 100 hectares is a great. It's great. They have all different kinds, but just the single grape of Toriga Nacional is fantastic.
Tremendous. Tony, so good to have you here. Great to see Tony again, says Eric J. For those who don't know you, and I mean, I'm surprised if anyone doesn't, basically, but in case there is anybody who's not aware of you and what you do up there in the wonderful north of Portugal, will you paint a quick portrait of yourself and your fabulous daily life that we were introduced to a few days ago?
Well, you know, I like to think of myself as I sell lifestyles and dreams. And you know, I get people where they want to make a better life, affordable wherever they are, and enjoy life. I think it's about just having fun, and when you get to a certain point in life, it really is just living the dream. Like my New York friend,
He sounds
Greg
like
says,
our kind of guy.
living the dream. You know,
Absolutely,
I've
yeah.
been living the dream for 20 years since living here in Portugal, and
No wonder you're smiling.
yeah, Doug is Doug, right? You're speaking.
It is indeed, yeah.
Hey, Billabong.
Billabong Doug today,
are you a
mate,
surfer?
yeah.
Are you a
No,
surfer?
mate. Well, if it would be more of a tsunami than a surf if I fell in.
You know,
Yeah. So
I could see you more on the Speedo. Is that right or no?
absolutely. My word, I'd be singing like the Bee Gees if I had one of those. I would be, wouldn't I? Now I got an Australian wine today, mate. Hence the Billabong Dag.
Yeah, you had the Australian Cabernet. I was listening since the beginning, and
absolutely
fabulous. But I think people wonder what I really do, and you know, I probably, because it's about food and wine and travel, so it's not probably about real estate, but that's once in a while we do that, but you know,
it's nice to have a roof over your head, isn't it? Really, so
right, Carl. Once in a while we sell real estate, just once in a while.
Yeah, but you've got to see Antonio's inventory, the houses that he shares. What's the best place to connect with you to see what properties you've got on your books, Tony?
Come to my house.
Or just come to my house. Come and have dinner. Come and have dinner and have a drive around the neighbourhood and have a look at these fabulous properties.
On my website. It's www. Can I say it?
Of course you can.
Okay, www.infinite-solutions.pt. Because we're all about solutions. It's never about problems, and problems is what we have. So we're all about the solution solving. It's what it's all about.
Superb. So before you leave us, because I think you're entertaining tonight, have you got another recommendation, and specifically from that beautiful part of Portugal that you're in, up there in the Minho?
Absolutely, from a very dear friend of mine, and you could check it out, even on Facebook and everything. Reguengos de Melgaço, okay? REGUENGO, then space DE the Melgaço, MELGACO.
Okay.
It's a hotel as well, so you could spend like a week, and then but the wine is exceptional. It's a vinho verde, but it's the Alvarinho mixed with Trajadura, so really fresh and floral, beautiful. Nice fish, grilled fish. Or seafood, it just goes beautifully. A nice polvo alagareiro, right?
Yes.
But It's not only it's not because he's a friend of mine, but it's because it's an exceptional wine. I remember one of the great memories. We took it from here to have it in Cuba, and so even we had it there, you know. And it's just one of those. That even some friends of ours just said they've never tried wine like that before, you know. So, but it's exceptional because you know the Vinho Verde is one. It's a region that, and the Alvarinho is only grown between Monção, Melgaço, in the northern Minho region. So. You have it's just where to go, and there's quite a few of them, but that is one of my dear favorites. I'd recommend it.
Tremendous.
Vinho Verde is a beautiful wine. I find it a nice summer wine to drink in the afternoon. I love Vinho Verde.
Party starter.
Hey, Tony, add another place for us to go when we come over there. This is going to be good.
Yeah, get a bus. Get a bus. We'll rent a small caravan, and you know we'll tour around.
Sounds like a plan.
Tony,
It's going to be the Ninja's minibus.
It's going to be the Ninja's minibus where everyone is getting fat and overweight and very drunk. How can it go wrong?
You know what's wrong
It's
with
a tour bus.
What's wrong with that?
It's a proper band
You know
on the road tour bus.
Listen, Frank, you got to say to Rachel, listen, Rachel, you'll always have a pillow to sleep on, and you'll always have a shade in the summer. You know,
That's
lay
exactly
down on
it.
the beach, just lay down. She'll always have a shade. So what's wrong with having a belly?
The thing is, she'll have to think about the option. I'll be the pillow and I'll be the shade as well.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah, I had
Certainly is when it comes to my speedos.
Flat abs are just a thing of the past. Nobody likes that. Everybody wants a Buddha now. You know what I mean? It's just to rub a belly and stuff. That's what everybody's looking for now. They don't want that washboard abs. They want to rub the belly for good luck. So it's
well said. Well
I
said.
like that. I like that.
Yeah, great sentiment. Tony, thank you so much for joining us. I suspect you've got to eat another course of dinner and have another dessert, something like that. Lots of love to you and your dining companion this evening from New York.
Gary, Linda, Doug, and Penny, Rachel, Frank, Andy. Great to
Dr.
see you.
Leona there as well.
To all of you guys. It was beautiful.
Take care, Tony.
You got a fan here, Carl. You do have a fan, and Frank, you do have one. So, thank you so much.
Antonio. Off he goes. There he goes. What a guy. What a legend. The legend of northern Portugal. That is Antonio Barboso. And his website, Infinite Solutions, infinite-solutions.pt. Beautiful. I mean, his lifestyle just sounds amazing. He's worked hard at it. He's been doing it for 20 years. So he's done his time drinking and eating and selling property. But incredible. Check it out. Infinite.
We can probably share speedos.
No. I was getting a little bit of sexual electricity. And I think
absolutely.
I think the speedo sharing thing is very possible.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just make sure that the S hasn't faded out.
Oh my word!
Oh no! Oh no!
That was sharp. That was sharp. I'll give you that, Gary.
That clears the pool, doesn't it? Every time.
I was the only one in the changing rooms that day.
I love it though. That's cool.
Frank, please.
So I want to say that because Antonio was mentioning polvo, which is octopus, and this past week in the Algarve we had amazing polvo at Chef Tiago's restaurant.
Oh, big up to Tiago.
Yeah, and we had amazing wine from the Algarve, which is something we have not tried in our club yet.
And we're going to do it soon.
Yes.
And everywhere you drive around the Algarve, you see vineyards everywhere. And we had an amazing white wine made with red grapes. I actually forgot to take a photo of the wine. Chef Tiago needs to tell us which one it was. I don't remember.
Yeah, he would remember 3 bottles or 4 bottles of the same wine.
It was 3.
It was 3?
Yeah.
All right.
What I'm doing here is finding a picture of your food Funny thing is, Frank, you never mentioned it. Going to see Tiago in the Algarve. Not. So let's see if I can bring up. Is that showing yet?
So this
Yeah.
This just looks fabulous. I'm so jealous. This is just not fair.
Yeah, true. But look at the pair of them there. With my new Bezzy mate Tiago in the Algarve with Polvo business going on there. Amazing. What a lovely time you've had there.
Yeah.
So great. I mean, from the bottom of the country there, Tiago, or I should say the south rather than the bottom. But Tiago in the south, Tony in the north, and everything in between. What an amazing life there is to celebrate here. Absolutely. João Mendonça, let's leave the Speedos for Friday. Okay. It's more of a...
I think I've made an impression with my Speedos tonight.
That kind of works, doesn't it? When any man who turns Speedos makes an impression without... It can be ironed out on a hot setting. Eric J, heading out for dinner, guys. Have a great night. See you in the man cave tomorrow. See you there, Eric. I'm sure. And didn't Luis Pato mention he makes a white wine with red wine grapes? He did say that.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit more from you, Penny, if you will. Some scoring, some a bit of analysis about the Bairrada with or without limon. Bairrada and limon.
The problem I've got is I can't remember what I gave it last time. I remember mentally I was comparing it with things like Campari and
I remember
some of those types of drinks. So I don't think I scored it that highly, but with the lemon, it's actually it's inched up a little bit, which would be very nice.
Like my budgie smugglers.
Stop it, Carl.
It works with that comment, doesn't it? Inched up a little bit.
It has inched up a little bit in my estimation, but I can't remember what the original score was. I'll give it a 4.
A 4, okay. But I mean, something to have in a drinks cabinet. It looks the part, doesn't it? Yeah, for sure. It's part of the alcoholic arsenal, we could call it, couldn't we?
It would be nice when I have friends around because they're used to my usual bar with its usual offerings, so it's nice to have something a bit different.
Yes.
When we're allowed friends around again, of course.
Of course, yes. Well said.
We're getting there, Penny, slowly but surely.
Slowly.
Yeah. Wasn't it interesting to have the President of Canada letting the British people know what might be around the corner? Very thoughtful, I was thinking today. Frank?
Prime Minister.
I beg your pardon. Yes, good points of order there. Prime Minister. All right.
Carl, didn't you have some mushrooms with Bairrada? What were they like? They look nice, actually.
Yeah, it was a kind of shiitake mushroom, but there's quite a variation, isn't there? And these were the more sort of more rubbery texture to them. So some shiitakes can be quite soft, can't they? And there's another sort of variety that's a bit tougher, takes a bit more cooking, but has a really lovely texture. And it was great actually. I chopped them up, fried them in a bit of butter, Azorean butter, seasoned Portuguese sea salt, black pepper grind on the top there, and then splashed some Bairrada in. And then tilted the pan as Frank would do. Flames, the alcohol caught the gas, and I felt like a pro chef. And the photo I showed you was like a little bit of bubbling in there, and I caught it just right, didn't I, with that photo? And it was delicious. It was a really good.
It really looked very nice. I was very, very impressed. I looked at that and I go, this guy is really, really taking some chances over here, like with his Bairrada, and he's like going somewhere else and whatever. Was it like Louisa like were you trying to impress her especially for that night, or were you doing something like just to experiment?
I tell you what, I'd found some very big parcel ravioli that was ricotta and truffle.
Oh, okay, so that would have gone well.
Yeah, and so I steamed those, and I put them on a bed of crushed rocket to get the aromas coming out the rocket. Give the rocket a bit of a scrunch before you put it in a bowl. Raviolis on the top, and then that mushroom sauce with the Bairrada reduction on top of that. It was delicious. It was lunch. It was, and the kids.
Here's the thing, Carl. Here's this going to. You know what this is? I'm giving you That's the crown for husband of the year. You get it.
Well, actually, I'm going to give it straight back to you because I ate it all myself. It didn't get anywhere near Mrs. M. So
My little
just for a moment there, Carl, when you was going about the mushrooms being rubbery, I thought there was a Chinese joke coming in there somewhere. These mushrooms are really rubbery. Yeah, thank you very much.
You know what, Gary? I've got a story to tell you. In my more worthy and touchy days, Pat Sharp. Who remembers Pat Sharp?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was on Capital Radio and he told that joke on air. I was in a Chinese restaurant the other day and I said to the waiter, "This food's rubbery." And the waiter said, "Oh, thank you very much." I thought that's disgraceful. I'm a Eurasian person of colour or whatever I described.
Well, you can tell that joke. You're okay. You can get away with it. So you're fine with that one.
I didn't see the funny side. I was a very earnest young man. And I wrote, "Dear Capital Radio, I was disgusted to hear your presenter Pat Sharp doing a racist joke." And I got a fantastic reply. I got from the producer saying, in retrospect, Pat recognises that this joke was probably a little bit inappropriate, and for that we apologise. So basically, piss off. but like, there's your apology, worthy young man. But yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic. You're right. Absolutely. What are the other ones? What time did the Chinaman go to the dentist? I can tell you. Yeah, 2:30. What? You can't do the voice because that takes it over the edge, Doug.
Okay.
What time did the Chinaman leave the campsite? 10:20. 10:20. Okay, all right. Let's move on. Let's move on. Well, I tell you what. Let's move from one area of controversy to another. Lisa. Oh, I speak for many, many American women who have a huge crush on PM Trudeau. Such a lovely man. He's a bit of a Marmite bloke, isn't he? I think he doesn't please everybody.
Well, you haven't seen him in his Speedos.
That's
we don't.
50% female and 50% male.
We don't know. Do you like Justin Timberlake?
Let me.
He's better looking than that, Prime Minister. That's for sure.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. He's gorgeous, our Boris, with his blonde locks.
Yeah, compete with.
It's okay if you don't mind feather dusters, I suppose.
I've never seen such a slob in public office. It's disgusting.
Oh, yeah, says the doc, who's been fairly quiet up till now. Tiago, is that for the?
I wanted to comment on that. The doc is very quiet, and I think he's afraid that Louise is watching and won't like the speedo comments and all like that.
Yeah, Doc is not the same since he met Louise. He's forgotten about us. What's going on?
I think he's busy. He's busy smashing food down his grid by the looks of it. So,
I've been waiting to score this wine because
I was going to say that.
Frank hasn't scored yet, I haven't scored yet, and Rachel hasn't scored, obviously.
All right, okay.
So I was sat here thinking, at some point before the end of the program, Carl might get around.
Sorry. Okay, all right.
Oh, he's got his new haircut now. He's all in there, and he's right in your face.
He's got bloody hipster haircut. He's friends with Louise Pateau. You've changed, man. You've changed.
I think so.
You're voting Conservative next. You watch.
Well, he can join our association. We're really young members at the moment.
You would have to kill me first.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
We do some lovely cheese and wine nights.
I'm sure.
What would the letter say? Dear Doc, it has come to our attention that you're a very bright young man, you've got a lovely haircut, and you're very, very well connected with the Portuguese wine industry. There's an opening for a fellow of such an intellect in the Welsh Conservative Party.
Absolutely.
Please reach out if this is of interest to you.
Yeah. I'll even provide a blue tie for him.
Dear sir, I'm sure your colleague and yourself would be very happy to see the Welsh Conservative Association's membership swelled by 50%, but unfortunately I'm not interested.
Are you suggesting that I'm the only one?
Drop the mic.
I mean, really? Goodness gracious me.
I'm afraid I must get to Doc's point here of scoring. But before we do, Tiago is, I don't know if that's a appreciation of the racist Chinese jokes or what this evening, or it may be Justin Trudeau, not sure. Oh, someone's calling me. That never normally happens. Someone just called me on Messenger. Mark, I can't talk to you right now, mate. I'm trying to do a live show here. I don't know how that happened.
Harry, there's a little button in the settings that says "Do not disturb."
Okay, thank you. He was a breath of fresh air when the Orange Man was pres here, but I mean anything compared to the Orange Man was a relief for a lot of people. Crystal is here as well. Crystal Kajnov. Hello from Tucson, Arizona, and Ubi is here. Bon dia alegria, bebedores de vinho. Saúde. Thank you very much, Ubi, for that. What are you drinking tonight? Okay, Doc, come on, score your mate's wine.
Okay, so I was trying to think what this put me in mind of. It's been a long time since I had any Beaujolais Nouveau, but this has got that sort of lively character in the mouth, on the tongue, and I already said it wasn't particularly heavy, 12.1%, virtually no tannins that you can really discern, and as well as the chocolatey taste that I mentioned earlier, it's also got a sort of hint of pine resin. I like it. I mean, it's the sort of thing that you'd happily open 3 or 4 bottles of on a summer evening.
Is that the wine he produces in stainless steel vats, opposed to putting it in oak?
Probably. Yeah. He has a few in stainless steel vats. All of his white wines go into stainless steel vats, but I'm not sure about it. But anyway, it's very nice. So I'm going to say 4.3.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right, Rachel and Frank, your blend, including Cabernet Sauvignon tonight. I got the sense that you quite like this as the weather is improving and the days are brighter, a little bit easier on the Constitution. What do you make of it?
This one was really nice, and I am going to say 425.
425, excellent. Okay,
wow.
Frank.
Rare occasion where I agree with the wife. It's a 4.25 for me as well. This one is really good. It's like going down very well. I've got the Linda scale of like 3.5 glasses of wine.
I have 3.25 because he had my other.
I should not.
It's getting dirty now. That's
Right. Can we see the empty? Could you hold the empty bottle up on the screen? Can we see it?
Oh, don't forget, he drinks faster.
Oh, all right. That's what it is. That's what it is then.
Yes. A lovely Korea red with a bit of Cabernet Sauvignon in there. Fantastic. So Speedos, we will finish soon, everybody, especially with all this Speedo talk. There's a Speedo free zone. Thank you very much from Victoria. Not a fan of the Speedo. And it's been a while since I had a lively character in my mouth, I have to say, Doc. I knew that wouldn't go unnoticed. Okay. Here's the thing about Speedo. Just want to touch on this, so to speak, as we conclude this evening. In a French swimming pool, piscine, obviously. You have to wear the Speedos, don't you? You're not allowed to wear the baggies in a lot of European swimming pools, and I've never understood why. Why is this?
Because they all have female bosses.
Okay, the choice of female.
I'm not going to touch on Speedos. I'm just going to mention them. My father-in-law wears one, and he's got like a nice like Buddha belly. And he wears one very proudly, as do a lot of like Brazilian men. And it was very difficult to wear a Speedo the first time because you kind of look a bit odd the first time when you wear it. Second or third time, it's called sunga in Brazil, and you see a lot of like these older guys.
Every guy wears it.
Second or third time, because the thing is, when you watch like the McDonald's package down there, you're like, Grandpa, leave that alone. Like, get away from it. But it gets worked in. I think in France it does, and I think South America it's a bit free Speedos. Everybody wears Speedos.
And in Portugal, you have to wear a swimming cap. which is hilarious as well, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, and you just wonder. I mean, people have got hairy legs and hairy armpits, and they're trying to stop hair coming off the head, maybe with a swimming cap. I don't quite understand these particular customs across Europe. I do want to. I can't leave without talking a bit more about speedos, though. So I mean, you know how you would work on your as Tony was saying earlier on your abs and your washboard, so that you could model a t-shirt correctly. I mean, do you have to work out so that you can model your speedos or your budgie smugglers or your?
No way. No, I mean, it's speedo is universal, man. Everybody should be wearing it.
No, I know that, but how do you have to sort of work out to fill your speedos? Because obviously, part of the visual, what's it called, curb appeal. Part of the curb appeal is that it's a well furnished.
It's packaged.
Yeah, there's no point wearing the speedos if, let's say, your pack shot. The pack shot is not. It's. I mean, okay.
Let's Linda.
Can we start on Linda, please? Can we please have Linda on the screen?
Should we give Linda the last word on banana?
Yeah, I think she should tell us what she's laughing about. Obviously, there's something very funny going on here.
It's Carl's description of how to fill your speedos. It's trying to be nice.
Yes.
It's funny the way it's coming out to me.
Well, try not to let it come out.
Absolutely. That is obviously the risk you take, isn't it? I mean, when you've got your baggies on, there's no chance of the old dead bird falling out of its nest, as it were, as Churchill famously said. And you're taking quite a risk.
I think I'd just look like a piece of old inner tube stuck in a hedge if I tried to wear them.
Inner tube. What, deflated inner tube?
Good question.
What's
I think Gary would look marvelous in a speedo. What do you think?
No, over my dead body.
Well, it is a new idea for the calendar. This is what I'm thinking. Because first of all, it was bottles of strategically placed bottles of wine, wasn't it, or a wine bottle if you need it. And then it was kittens, wasn't it? Like rescued animals, which could be really dangerous. Can you imagine if you got an angry kitten and you're doing a nude calendar? Yes, you don't really want that. So maybe maybe we're going into the banana hammock, speedo, a budgie smuggler territory.
I know.
What's wrong with the mankini?
I'm all for it.
Oh, God.
I'm all for it.
I don't mind that at all. And in fact, I would feel, strangely enough, less self-conscious in a mankini than I would some speedos.
I would love to see. I definitely think all you guys in a mankini for the calendar.
Oh God,
no! Are you thinking of the Borat kind of mankini? Because that
in gold lame.
Yeah, that's the
you
one.
Mankini a 2-piece or 1 piece?
1 piece.
So one piece is a very well. No sharing with that. But the great thing about the mankini, of course, is you can indulge the visual effects with the man boobs as well, can't you? Like, do you have straps over the nipples, straps to the side of the nipples?
Around here, around there.
You could get a bit of uplift, couldn't you? You could, if you put them in the right place, you could get a bit of uplift.
You've got a lot more. You've got a lot more to play with a mankini, I would say personally. So,
well, the last time I wore
when we started doing the wine club, we would have thought we would come to speedos.
Sorry, everyone's getting too excited about this. Frank, what was that?
I said when we started the wine club, who would have thought the wine club is going to result into speedos?
Indeed, but it's all for charity, mate, as Doug would say. It's for the charity fundraising calendar. So we have to have a. Doug, did you have an erudite pearl of wisdom to share about mankini?
Do you want to be January?
Me? I could be January. Then I'd be wearing a duffel coat, something rather warm, I would imagine. So
Doug is January. Carl is February. I could be March. Gary is an ideal April.
Absolutely, April is.
Well, I am because I'm born in April. That's my month, April.
Yeah.
Gary Shower Austin.
Well, the last time I wore a mankini, not a mankini, a pair of speedos, was in the on the beach in Nazaré, and I just wondered how on
the beach in Normandy.
No, it was
That's
Nazaré.
why they've got the signs up saying no mankinis allowed.
Right.
And I wondered how come I was on the main beach in Nazaré, and everybody migrated to Praia do Norte, and they all jumped onto their surfboards, and I just cleared the beach. It was completely deserted.
Yeah, it was the sound. It was the sound you were making, Doug.
Really? Is it the squeak? Is it the Bee Gees? I was singing "Staying Alive."
It's that growl. It's the Doug growl, mate. Some say it was you that caused those great big waves with your speedos.
Yes, it's only when I fall off the surfboard, though.
Absolutely, I'm sure. Do not Google mankini unless you want that in your search history for the rest of your web days. And every advert that comes up is a man in a mankini. I mean, you might like that. Victoria's suggesting Googling Borat, and this is a rule. Yeah, where two or more are gathered, get the mankinis out and get them on. So mankinis out for the lasses. What an excellent note to end on. Thank you, everybody, tonight. Food for thought there, and images you will never be able to get out of your mind. Thank you, everybody. See you next week. Who's next week?
We are. Yeah, we are.
Leona.
Yes.
We've not heard from Leona tonight. Are you actually on your own? Are you on your own there, Doc? And you put Leona on the screen. Can we hear from Leona? Are you there, Leona?
I think she's been called away to a phone call, but no. So I think it's us next. Actually, I'll have to check the calendar.
You're the secretary, Doc.
I know. But if you will make me drink loads,
We'll have to release the pressure off the Doc a little bit.
Performance of the secretary. I'm kind of doubting here. I don't know what's going on with the secretary here.
Listen, no more of that, right?
It's either got to be. It's either got to be Andy or Penny.
And it's the Criterium Reserva.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right, we got it. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much for indulging us tonight, everybody who's been here. And look, let's check us out. Tiago Zeferino, Antonio Barbosa, Luis Pato. We're just chucking all these fantastic.
Hey, it's the boys. It's the boys.
Oh, that's it. The Criterium. Is that right? That's a very fancy name, isn't it?
Criterium. Is it Criterium? I can't remember. It's only my wine.
And a Bonoit from Ree there, who is tempted. She doesn't know whether to search it or not. Go on, give it a go, Ree. What could possibly go wrong? Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. Bonoit, ciao, ciao, and we'll see you soon.